7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You crazy mother.
Yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red meat. Nope. Okay, so to start off, I wanted to do a little bit of skincare because it is Valentine's Day. We want to look, tip top for our man or dog, a reflection in the mirror. Recently, I've been going to Urban Outfitters. They're typically 4 for $10, and I'm all about that Price is Right. I'm going to do the moisturizing one here. So these masks are sheet masks, which if you don't know what that is, I'm surprised. It looks like this. It literally comes all drenched in this little piece of fabric. So you just take it and so you just press it down everywhere. You look a little bit like a serial killer, but it's worth it because you're gonna look like a beauty queen afterwards. And you're ready to go. You're ready to go out on your date. It makes for a great first impression, especially if you met them online. Is she a serial killer or is she my new wife? I don't know. Who knows? Keep it exciting. All right, so whenever you're done, you just peel it off. And I just like to, all of that extra product that's just kind of sitting all over your face. Another thing I like to do is use these Tarte Pack Your Bags Under Eye Gel Pads. These things are seriously a lifesaver. For so long, I would put spoons in the fridge and I would use them under my eyes because they would get really puffy and I'm always crying about something. Instead of doing that, you can put these in the fridge, you can reuse, and I don't really have time to sit here and put them on for you because I'm fighting the daylight right now, but you should purchase. Now I'm moving on to moisturizer. I have been using this Tarte Drink of H2O. I can't stand really heavy moisturizers that tend to kind of sit on top and never sink in. And I feel like kind of fights with my makeup as I'm putting it on. And then if I'm having an extra dry day, I will also use the Tarte Maracuja. So the tops of my cheekbones, my nose, places that get really dry as well. So I just like to press that in and kind of let that all absorb, but we ain't got that kind of time today. And lastly, to moisturize the lips, I have been using the Glam Glow Pout Mud. And I use this every single night before I go to bed, and anytime before I start my makeup, I'll just put it all over my lips. And that way they're sitting and moisturizing before I am done with my makeup and ready for lipstick. Alright, so let's get started with makeup. That's why we're here in the first place. For foundation, I am still mixing the Hourglass Vanish Stick and L'Oreal Pro Glow. I also added in BECCA Shimmering Skin Perfector in Opal, the cream version, into the L'Oreal Pro Glow just to give it a little bit extra shine. So I like to just do a couple stripes on my face. If you watch me on Snapchat or know me as a person at all, you have probably heard that I'm not the biggest fan of this foundation, this stick foundation. Honestly, in accordance with this L'Oreal Pro Glow, it's pretty much the only way that I will wear it. Also, I'm really sorry if the light is constantly changing. I'm just working off the daylight today. For concealer, I'm going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I am in shade Fair Neutral, which is actually a little too light for me, so I do have to mix it with my naked skin because it's too dark. Apparently, I'm just too high maintenance to stick with one product today. I literally had to order it from the Tarte website, because the lady practically laughed in my face when I asked if it was in stock at Ulta. It would be okay to use the Shape Tape that light, but we're looking a little 3 years ago if so. So again, I'm just going to get my Wet Beauty blender and blend all of that out. And by wet, I mean damp. I'm surprised at how many people actually don't understand that you're supposed to run it underneath the faucet. They're like, how is yours so much bigger than mine? Because you're supposed to get it soaking wet and then wring it out so that it's just slightly damp. My husband always has half a fit when we go into Sephora, and he's like, you're gonna pay $20 for that sponge. Someone is laughing their ass off. I definitely like to go back with the end that I use my foundation on because there might still be a little bit of product, and especially when my concealer is so much lighter, I kind of like to just blend everything together. So I have a little bit left of that Opal, and I'm just gonna pick some of that up on my beauty blender and put it in all the places that I would highlight. So I'm gonna start by adding it to my cheekbones. This is something a little bit different that I've been doing recently. I've been taking my highlight in like a C formation all the way up to the arch of my brow here. I don't have that much structure naturally on my face. Like, I'll do brides and everyone and I'm like literally side-eyeing them because they have the best bone structure of all time. And I'm over here with like a Sharpie drawing a line from my ear to my mouth. So I'm trying to find different ways, like where the sun naturally hits the high points of my face and highlight there as well so that I can have like an all over glow and not just like that cool racing stripe that some people get, which I actually kind of like low key, high key, let's be honest. All right, so now that we have done all of our cream products for the face, I am going to dip my damp beauty blender and I'm just going to try and get it on the tip right there. I really don't want to set anywhere that we've put that cream highlight. I also like to put some powder in between my brows because I have the lovely laugh lines. Actually, it's more like scowl lines. These are laugh lines. I always said that laugh lines would be the only wrinkles I didn't mind getting because people would know that I just laughed too much. Touching. So now I am going to go and cover up that cream highlight with some powder highlight, and I'm using Champagne Pop. So I'm just taking this and really dusting it all over my cheekbone, right up here at my arch and my brow. That's gonna help lift my brows. And then I've also been bringing it over the apples of my cheeks. That adds almost like a natural contour because even though I don't have any contour powder on, the sun is hitting my highlight, it adds that line under it, if that makes sense. First of all, I don't know why, I just really like to go over everything with my beauty blender. I don't want there ever to be a separation in between powder and liquid. Like, I want it to all look like a flat layer. This is kind of a new trick that I've been trying. I dip my powder into the Champagne Pop and place it right on the high points. Now I'm going to do my brows. As always, I use the Anastasia brow definer, and I am gonna do this off camera because number one, I have a brow video, and number two, Lord knows this video is gonna be long enough already because I'm sitting here rambling like literally right now in real time. I'm going to use Charmer in this Tartlette in Bloom palette. I think I'm going to be working entirely out of this palette today. I'll let you know if that changes. But I like to just pack most of the pigment right at the arch and then bring it down. Now I'm gonna take the color Funny Girl down here, taking this on a Sigma blending brush in E25 and throwing it all over our lid. I have found that actually using this blending brush helps later with blending your other matte shades because shimmer shades just tend to blend easier. I don't really know the science behind it, but when you add a matte on top of it, it really makes your blending experience a lot easier. I am gonna go back with the 242 and I'm going to spritz it with some Fix Plus to really bring out the shimmer, which is like my favorite trick of all time. Pull my eye taut and really start to see the shimmery shades. Now I think I am going to pick up the shade Sweetheart. So I am just going to place this on the outer corner and start blending it upwards. Oh, this color is so pretty. If you have blue eyes, this color would be gorgeous on you. Blue eyes always look really good with pink undertone eyeshadows, in my opinion. And I'm holding my brush way out here so that I'm not heavy-handed. When I'm starting to blend it upwards, I like to hold my brush at more of a top angle so that those shorter hairs on the brush help blend it upwards towards your brow bone for you. And then do small, tiny circles. It's almost like I need to get the bulk of the product off and then slowly bring it up. So I'm kind of just working my way, oh man, that nail is looking fresh. Gradiating down this line, getting darker and darker. So now I'm gonna take the next shade, which is Rebel. So this color, I'm going to start even lower, more focusing on that corner and really packing on the product there. And then again, slowly bringing it up. But I'm not gonna bring it out as far as the pinky shade that we used. I'm always very aware of the way and the direction that my brush is turned. So when I'm packing it on, I have my brush flat and I'm dabbing it. And then as I move upwards and I lose some of that pigment, I'll start to turn it. Patting it on in that outer corner and then slowly bringing it upwards into that crease. It's kind of like a flat and then twist out. I know this video is probably going to be super long. Instead of just trying to make the video as short as possible and trying to get through it so that people will watch it, I'd rather like 5 people watch this and really get a grip on the techniques that I have learned over the time that I've been doing makeup for like 5 or 6 years now. So I'm very sanitarily wiping this on the back of my hand, and I'm going to pick up a little bit more of that Sweetheart and just go over everything to make sure that it is blended. Again, we want that gradient. So I'm actually going to keep this brush and I'm going to take kind of a mixture of that Sweetheart and Rebel color. So I am just taking it right on this outer edge, and you'll notice that it'll be easier to make the shape because you literally now can take this end and just come upwards with it. I'm just connecting that so I really get an idea of the shape I'm wanting to create on this outer corner. I'm gonna go back with the blank brush, but also if you feel like you've made any mistakes, there's this color called Flower Child in this palette that's actually great for fixing mistakes. Blending is the most important part of makeup. I feel like I get asked so many questions about like, you know, how do you get it to do that? And I'm like, well, I got up 2 hours before I was supposed to be here, to be honest. So I'm going to switch brushes to this Morphe 506. I'm going to pick up that last darkest color leader in the corner, and I am just going to pack this right in the corner. So I'm trying to focus this product super close to my lash line and then bring it upwards towards the very end, kind of creating that cat eye effect. Again, packing it in the corner and just flicking it ever so slightly. I'm also gonna take that same leader color and start building it on just the outer corner of our under eye. And again, kind of connecting it. And again, going back with this brush and just making sure that especially this corner where we've kind of flicked it out. Something that I have to do again because I have smaller lids is even though this is where my eye creases, I tend to bring it up here to try and open my eye. Because otherwise, you do all that hard work for no one to see it, and it's depressing. And then I'm also bringing it in the inner corner as our highlight, especially since our brush is still a little bit wet. Now I'm just going to pop on some mascara. This is L'Oreal's Voluminous, and I wipe like so much of it off. It's ridiculous. So you absolutely do not have to wear lashes with this look, but I would recommend it because why not, especially when it's a holiday. I never feel more like flirty than when, you know, I can like look up and blow the boy's hair from his face with my lashes. I'm going to be wearing the Flutter lashes in I Slay. They're extremely spiky, but when you put them on, they actually come across very natural looking. Like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, but. And these lashes are super easy to work with because they have a very, very thin band, and especially in a situation like this where we don't have any eyeliner or anything to really forgive it. So I like to just come from the top, kind of place them, and stick them in the middle, stick this end, and pull my eye taut so that I can stick this corner. So as you can see, lashes truly just elevate this look and make it a little bit more sensual and sexy and feminine. Going to start bronzing, starting with MAC's Give Me Sun and using a Sigma F50 Duo Fiber brush. Just start slowly contouring. So I like to just do like big circular motions and keep it in that contour line. And I'm not stupid, I know that this shade is too orange for me, but I almost like have to use it as a blending shade for my Hoola, because if I just go in with my Hoola, I look very muddy. So now I'm switching to this tiny Luxie Duo Fiber brush and dipping it in my almost empty Hoola. And I'm just going to continue doing the exact same thing, but I'm gonna keep this darker contour, oh hi Ma, lower than the Give Me Sun. So I'm also putting some on my forehead. Can you see how orange my hair has gone? So to clean up my contour, which is why I didn't really care about being messy, so I'm just going to kind of draw that line all the way. I'm going to be using Incandescent Electra Ambient Blush. I am obsessed with it, especially if I'm like not really wearing a lot of makeup or I'm doing like a no makeup look. So our bake has been sitting for a while, so I'm gonna wipe it away. Okay, we're almost done. So first I am going to set my face with Fix Plus, always. And for our lip today, we are going to be using Jeffree Star's Checkmate, which I feel as though was probably made specifically for me. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Jeff, you tell me. So I'm gonna put that on. I can't talk on time. And Lord knows we gotta overline that top lip. Like, that's pretty depressing. That's where I overline my lip, and that's my regular lip. It's all lie, y'all, and I have no shame. I am gonna do one final thing. I am going to take that super dark brown. I am going to put it on this teeny tiny brush. It is an eyeliner E11 brush by Sigma. And I am just going to dot it on my mole to bring out my beauty mark, because I covered it up with foundation and I actually kind of like it. This is also a great tip if you have pimples. Just like turn that pimple into a mole, boo. But you want to make sure and not leave it like this. You want to take like a beauty blender or whatever you use for your foundation and kind of go over it so that it kind of looks like we covered it up with foundation. My hair is a disaster, so don't even. All right, guys, so that is the finished look. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. I definitely wanted to be able to do something for Valentine's Day, because when can I say no to the opportunity of doing a look with a red lip? Like, this is not just a Valentine's Day look, let's be honest. This is like my everyday goal. It's just everything to me. Like, a neutral eye with a red lip is like, bury me in a red lip. I hope you have the best Valentine's Day ever, whether you have a special someone or, you know, a really good tub of ice cream. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, check out my blog, @SneakyLouise. You'll find me there. I'll put all the information down below. See you later.